Hey guys, it's Raymond. Are you thinking about selling or maybe buying in the next year? One of the things that's really critical to your monthly payment is going to be the interest rate. So over the last few months, if you haven't heard, interest rates have started going up. So you might say, okay, well, how does that impact me in my ability to maybe sell my home or buy a new home? And that's something that's really important. So in this video, we're going to take three examples, and those examples will run us from November, December, January, and February of 2021 to 2022, what the available interest rates at the respective three prices and what it looks like when the interest rate go up. So the first example that we have is a $600,000 purchase, and this is all assuming a 20% down. So to make the math easy, so you're buying a house for $600,000, putting 20% down. In November, the available interest rate was 2.75. That's what was currently being quoted by some of the lenders we work. So obviously that's a great interest rate. And at that point, your total payment would be $26.35. I have my little notes here. In December, interest rates started to tick up a little bit. The available rate was closer to a 3.125. That same $600,000 purchase doing 20% down, your payment went from $26.35 to $27.31. So a little under $100 increase. In January, that same $600,000 dollar home with 20% down, your payment went up to $2,864 because rates went up to about 3.625. Now in February, what some of the lenders are quoting is 3.75. So from the beginning or end of last year to now, we're almost a whole percent up, and that payment is $28.98. Right? And you might say, okay, rates are going up. What's the big deal? Well, let me tell you if you say you want to keep your payment the exact same, let's say, Remo, I'm comfortable with that $26.35 payment because that's what it was in November. And what is my purchase power if I keep that payment the same? So in November, with that $26.35 payment, a buyer can again purchase a $600,000 house. Now with that same payment of $26.35, that purchase price drops from $600,000 to $530,000. So in the last 2-3 months, keeping the payment the exact same, most buyers lost close to $70,000 in that purchase power example with 20% down. That's a huge drop. Now, if you're purchasing at $800,000, numbers similar with the interest rates, 2.75, your payment was about $3,500. When it went up to 3.125%, it went up to $36.25. In January, it went up to $38.02, and now it's $38.50. And that's obviously a big jump. So again, with the same example, how about if I want to keep my payment close to that $3,500? I qualified for $800,000 in November. That same person or family is now qualifying not for $800,000, but for $705,000. $95,000 was disappeared because the cost of money has gone up. So something that's really critical. Now, as we get to $1 million, next example, the total payment is about $43.58 at a 2.75. When rates went up in December to 3.125, that payment went up to $45.19. In January, it went up to $47.40 when rates went up to 3.625. And at 3.75, that payment is $47.97, so roughly $4,800. Same example, how about if we want to keep the same payment that we had in November, what does that do to our purchase price? Rather than being able to purchase $1 million, now you would be able to qualify for about $881,000. That means your purchasing power dropped by $119,000. So, how does that affect sellers? Well, if you're selling your property and now you're expecting a pool of buyers that were at $800,000 and that's where you're pricing your home, well, what ends up happening is they no longer can qualify for your home. And so we start seeing some of the pullback from some of the buyers because their purchasing power goes down, right? And if you're thinking about buying, obviously it's just getting more expensive to purchase because what you're concerned about is one of the concerns is your monthly mortgage payment. And so if it just got more expensive by $200, $300, $400, you might not qualify. So you might say, okay, well, what is it that we do qualify now? And the $800,000 example that I mentioned, going from $800,000 to $705,000, $95,000 of purchasing power gone. So interest rates have a huge part in your overall purchasing ability. So, you know, again, this is very technical for those numbers. Now, I would say consult your loan officer for exact numbers. You know, this is general number for informational purposes. We're not quoting any interest rates for you to get a loan from us or anything like that. This is just so you can understand the impact that interest rates play when it comes to purchasing or in this case also selling your home. So any questions regarding it, please feel free to comment below or send us a reply or a DM, and we'll see you guys soon. All the best.